name is Carol Page and I'm here today with Mark Grindall, the musical director of Spellbound. Hello Mark.
Good morning.
So Mark, tell us briefly about your favourite subject, you.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite describe it as my favourite subject, but what can I say? I'm retired, theoretically, although that's not been the case since Spellbound was formed. I started my working career in the police service, had to retire as a result of an injury. I've worked in a variety of areas, but mainly in music and show production for most of my life. And I decided to retire to Cyprus.
Mm. So what is more important for you, honesty or chocolate?
Honesty. Honesty. Chocolate, I can take it or leave it. That's a very interesting question.
So how long have you been involved in the barbershop world?
I started singing barbershop when I was about 16, but actually I didn't know what it was. I was just singing close harmony with some friends. And then in the 80s, I discovered barbershop through a friend of a friend, the organisation barbershop. Started singing with a group in Harlow, in Essex. It's been a long time now, and I very quickly moved into quartet singing, which is where my original love was. And then I moved on to directing choruses later in my career. But barbershop came as a surprise, as an organisation, as a way of life, and I've been very heavily involved in the classical musical world, in small a cappella groups before that, and then when I discovered barbershop, I discovered an entire community of singers and fell in love with it, and I've been with it ever since.
Okay, so tell us about your successes in that area, your personal successes.
Well, I've sung in a number of quartets that have done rather well. One quartet originally called Nickelodeon, we ended up as the Main Street Quartet at Disneyland Paris. We were there for a few years, and if you were in Disneyland in the early 90s, around the opening time, and you saw a barbershop quartet, then that was probably me and my three friends. That was great fun. I've sung in international contests in quartet and chorus. I've directed groups to high level. I've had a great time, and the barbershop world is very, very tight. The actual style requires an awful lot of work, and I kind of like that, and it's been good for me.
Sounds like it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, it has. Oh, every moment has been great.
Okay, all right. So, can you describe Spellbound chorus in one word or less?
Amazing.
Will do. And tell us about Spellbound. What made you want to start an a cappella chorus in Paphos?
When I first came over to Cyprus, I had every intention of that was it. I was quite happy to sit back and not really do anything new. I've only been here a very short time when I was asked to take on temporarily another singing group here in Cyprus, the Paphos Singers, a lovely bunch of people. They're a rock choir working with backing tracks. Not something that I'd got a massive amount of experience with, but it was a fairly simple style, fairly simple requirement, and they needed some help over a short period of time. And 6 months later, when I was still there, and I thought, we need to do something more. So I decided, right, let's see if we can push the boundaries a bit. That was the singing to backing tracks rock choir is not really my style, and what I wanted to do wasn't really their style. So I decided, okay, I helped train up a replacement, and I moved on. And then I thought about it, and then I thought, you know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that working again with a choir. So I thought, let's see if I can get some interest in what I want to do. And I put out a couple of simple adverts with your help, if I remember, Carol. And the end result was amazing. We had something like 25, 26 people attended our first night. Obviously, not everybody was suited to the barbershop style, and the barbershop style didn't suit all of those people. But we ended up on that first night with a core of people who wanted to work to be the best that they could be in close harmony singing. And yeah, it's just grown from there.
Exciting.
Very.
So, if a tree could hug you, would you let it?
Absolutely. That's a crazy question.
And on a similar note, what animal best describes your personality and why?
Oof. Probably a bear, I would think.
Okay.
I'm big and loud.
Yeah.
So I think, bear probably does it.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So what are your hopes and dreams for Spellbound?
I'd like to see Spellbound grow. At the moment we're around 32, 33 members, and I would absolutely love it if we could get up to around 50. That's almost a magic number for any choir of any description. I'd like to see Spellbound do even more new music, interesting songs. At the moment, we've got a fantastic repertoire built up over less than 2 years. It's incredible, actually, how hard the girls have worked to make that possible. And I'm really keen now to push that even further. We had some real success at a recent contest in Holland, and I'd like to see us do a little bit more of that. We'll have to see how things go. Yeah.
So if someone was thinking of joining Spellbound, what should they do?
Well, come along to a rehearsal, see what we get up to. It's probably the best way. I think a lot of people have no real concept. There's some people, they see a barbershop group, they think, okay, that's 4 old men in stripy waistcoats with straw hats, and that's about as far as it goes. It's so much more than that, especially nowadays. It's developed over the years to be one of the premier forms of a cappella singing available. So yeah, come along to a rehearsal, see what we do. As I said, Spellbound and this style of music is not for everybody, but I think the friendship and the camaraderie that develops within the group is what holds a lot of people on, and then the real wish to just be the best that they can be, which has been a mantra of ours from the very beginning. So come along to rehearsal, see what we get up to, have a chat with me, and we'll see where that takes you.
Thank you very much. This is Carol Page with Mark Grindall of spellboundchorus.com.